This girl something.
Finally, we've got another episode with Kamie. Oh, how I missed her. Maybe I'm just being a little bit dramatic because it's only been about 3 or 4 videos since she's been in a video. But let's move on. Let's get into Season 8, Episode 70. It's a wild one. Neve and Kamie get an email from someone named Ty who lives in Charlestown, West Virginia. He's reaching out on behalf of his best friend John, who has been dating someone online, and Ty thinks that she's a catfish since they only live about an hour apart as she lives in Washington, D.C. They haven't met and they haven't video chatted. But I feel like in 2020 to 2024, if someone can't talk to you on the phone, they can't video chat, they can't meet up with you, it's a wrap. It's a catfish. You should already know this. So Ty says that John met Megan online and they hit it off right away because John has 3 sons and Megan has 2 girls. They bonded over their kids and they seem perfect for each other. I feel like once you put the whole catfishing aspect to the side, I'm sure she's perfect for him. John thinks that Megan is the one, but Ty thinks that she's just toying with his emotions or she's not who she says she is. Ty says that John is a single dad who doesn't have time to waste, so they immediately hop on a call with Ty. Ty says that John knows that Ty reached out to talk to Catfish, and Neve says that they'll just head over to West Virginia and all talk in person. They land in West Virginia and right away they head over to Ty and John, and Neve and Kamie have coordinating fits going on, which I think is really cute, like even down to the gold jewelry. I'm just loving the coordination here, not matching. I think matching definitely overdoes it. John answers the door and he greets them with a big old smile. He confirms that he has 3 kids from 2 different mothers. John then talks about how he met Megan and he says that they met on Facebook, which is red flag number 1. Don't meet anybody on Facebook. Listen to me. I'm the captain now. Don't meet anyone on Facebook ever.
Write that down! Write that down!
But Megan messaged him saying that she liked his hair and he said that he liked her face, and they've just been talking ever since. And I feel like this is such a teenage way of starting a relationship. I like your face.
Be fucking for real.
I don't like it. John is under the belief that Megan's kids don't see their dad because Megan said that he was quite abusive. Meanwhile, Ty is shaking his head no. So it's like, Ty, what do you know that we don't yet know? Fill us in here, buddy. John says that Megan works at a flower shop, but she's also a Twitch gamer and she also makes YouTube videos. So he says she's just a hustler, which I feel like if a man is ever like, yeah, she's a real hustler, it's a red flag to me. Just me personally, because he didn't talk about what he does for a living. He just talks about all the things that she does, which I'm like, that's a little bit strange, but we move on. Then he lets us know that Megan actually never told him anything about her social media endeavors. He just found them on his own.
On one of her Facebook photos, there was a ID on there, so I looked it up on Google.
And while I think they see it as a red flag, I don't see it as a red flag because me personally, I'm not super forthcoming about my social media presence at all, so I understand it. Then we get on to red flag number 2, which is that they are only connected on Facebook. Megan has John's number, but John does not have Megan's number.
Lord have mercy.
You don't think that's weird? You don't find that suspicious? Okay, sir. John says that he's pretty sure that the girl he sees on social media is in fact the girl he's talking to, even though he acknowledges that it sounds dumb.
I kind of believe everything she says, as dumb as that sounds. She seems pretty honest.
Be fucking for real.
If you are saying it sounds dumb, and you still believe it, I don't know what anyone can do for you. John says that their relationship is very serious, and he knows that she's a good person, which, like, how do you know that if you haven't met her in person? You don't even know if this is the girl you're talking to, but you know she's a good person. Okay.
I know something you don't know.
Then we get on to red flag number 3, which is that John's last relationship was 6 years long, and it only ended about 6 months before he started talking to Megan. I feel like that's too fast. I don't care what anyone says, especially if that's someone he has children with. Y'all were together 6 years, you got kids, and then you only waited 6 months before you started talking to a random girl online. Just red flags all around. Kamie then asks if there's a chance that it could be John's ex-girlfriend, and Ty and John both agree that it would be too diabolical. I feel like I could think of some more diabolical things to do to an ex. Me personally, I wouldn't do them because I don't give a fuck about my exes, but I feel like this is not that diabolical to do in the grand scheme of things. John then lets us know that he has sent her pictures of himself and his kids, but she's never reciprocated. And I just want to know, like, John, you already acknowledged that you're a bit of a dumbass. We get it. You're la-la, dumb in love. But why would you send someone you have never met, someone you don't even know if this is the person you're talking to. Why would you send them pictures of your kids? Why would you do that? If you want to put yourself in jeopardy, be my guest, but why your kids? At this point, too many people lack basic common sense. Are you dumb? Like, now you're putting your kids at risk. John says that they have in fact made plans to meet up, but something always happens, something always comes up, and she never shows. One time they were going to meet up. Right before it happened, John told Megan that one of his sons broke their TV. Megan bought him a new one and said she was going to bring it down, but then never showed up because her car broke down. You don't even know if she bought the TV, which why would you buy a grown man a TV? I just feel like that's crazy. That's weird to do. Don't understand it. But also, like, the car breaking down is a classic Catfish excuse. So the fact that he still refuses to see what's right in front of him is insane to me. But what do you expect from a man who acknowledges that all this is dumb and does it anyway? Neve and Kamie head out, and Kamie is fully convinced that it's the baby mom's, the last relationship John was in. And honestly, her hypothesis makes complete sense, because who else could it be? Our kind of sort of fave duo, in case you don't know, Travis and Ronnie are giving Neve and Kamie a run for their money. So we don't know who is our favorite duo at this point, but the duo that we're currently talking about, Neve and Kamie, they get to investigating. John sent them the pictures that he has of Megan and the links to her social media, so they head right over to her Instagram. They see that she has about 8,400 followers. They go to her Linktree, and then they go to her Twitch to try and find her real name. It's quite literally in her bio.
I'm Miranda. Oh my god. Ding, 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 ding.
Like, if John had looked for maybe 2 seconds, then he would have found it. Her name is Miranda. So right away, it's clear that this streamer, this internet girly, is not who John is talking to. They then go to the Facebook page and they see that someone named Melissa Smith posted on Megan's wall. She's talking about how nice it was to meet her and hopes that she's enjoying the TV. So it's like, this is a little bit weird. This is very strange, especially now that we know that Megan is not the real girl. So Kamie, with her big brain energy, she thinks that it's just another fake account that is being used by the Catfish to validate the Megan's account, which is so insane, it might just be true. Neve then sends a message to Melissa asking her to reach out to them, and this is a call that he makes without Kamie's approval. It's clear that she is not on board with this decision, but Neve makes it anyways. Melissa messages back right away, and Neve asks if she can hop on a FaceTime, which is again a call that he makes without Kamie's approval. She is not on board with this decision. But this is the first time I think I've ever seen them not be on the same page about how their investigation should go. I can see why Neve is making the decisions he's making, but I can also see why Kamie would want him to play their cards a little bit differently. Because if Melissa is in fact the Catfish, then you've just blown your whole cover so early on. She has so much time to prepare and run away from you now, if Melissa is in fact the Catfish. So Melissa messages back and says that she cannot FaceTime, but she can give them a call, and she does just that. And imagine our shock and surprise when it's a man on the phone.
This is Melissa's husband. We share a Facebook account.
He says that he's Melissa's husband, and he says that they share a Facebook account.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
That's weird. I would never want to share a Facebook account with anybody, let alone a partner or a husband or a wife. Like, I'm not doing that. So Neve is very confused, just like we are very confused. And her husband says that Melissa isn't home and she couldn't call because she's busy working. And do you smell that? It just smells like a big heaping pile of bullshit. This is not a believable story. The Catfishes are getting lazy now, and I don't like it. Neve then just says whatever and moves on. He asks about the TV that they sold to Megan, and the husband, allegedly the husband, says that
She came, looked just like her Facebook picture, and left.
No. Now this is officially sounding like a fishy pile of heaping bullshit.
She looked like her picture? No, she didn't.
Because nobody asked what she looked like. Nobody asked what she looked like, and it seems like this random man from Atlanta is now going out of his way to cover for the Catfish when quite literally nobody asked him to. So now this situation's got even more sus. Like, what are you talking about? She looked just like the picture. No, the fuck she didn't, because we know it's not her. Kamie immediately clocks this as shady, and of course she does, because she's one of us. Neve then talks to the alleged husband and says that it's weird because they found the girl in the pictures and her name is Miranda. So then the man on the phone is clearly trying to cover up.
I weren't really trying to be super spies or detectives.
You stupid.
I mean, it sure sounded like that's what you were trying to do when you said she looked just like her Facebook picture. But also, like, even if, say this man is telling the truth, that is who he talked to, that is who came to pick up the TV, whatever, you wouldn't go out of your way to reach out to someone you just sold something to, unless you're trying to smash. But I feel like you wouldn't be dumb enough, maybe he would because he's a man, but you wouldn't be dumb enough to hit up random girls to hook up with on the Facebook account that you share with your alleged wife. Like, this is not making sense. It's clear that they didn't think about their story at all, and I don't like it. The husband says that his name is Phil, and Kamie says that his name stands for
Phil, short for Phil.
which period it does. So after they get off the phone, Neve deduces that Phil is also the catfish, but Kamie disagrees, and she says that the ex just got a random man to call. So they know that she's lying, right? They know that Megan is lying. They know that Megan is not really who John has been talking to, but they don't know exactly why she's lying, and they are no closer to figuring out exactly who she is. So they head over to John's, and he seems excited to see them, which I would never be excited to see Catfish. But, like, if you're coming to my house with the intention of, like, I'm about to be on the show, keep it. I'm not excited to see you. So sorry to say it. So they fill him in on what they found, starting with the Twitch bio, and John says,
Because Miranda, I don't know, part of me still wants it to be her, so.
Miranda is the girl that you thought you were talking to, sir. They're telling you exactly who she is. Let's not be in denial now. But also, I just feel like it's so crazy to assume that any sort of internet personality would be looking for dudes on Facebook.
Make it make sense. What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
That's just my thought, though. Then they move on to talking about the Facebook page, the conversation with Melissa's alleged husband, Phil, or as Kamie says,
Phil, short for Phil.
They recorded the call and they play a portion of it to see if John recognizes the voice, and he says that he doesn't. Neve then says that it's looking like Kamie's hypothesis that it's his ex-girlfriend could be right, but it could also be a guy because of the random man they talked to on the phone. John tells them to message Megan on his behalf, so Neve does just that, and then they head out. Later that night, Neve gets a call from John because John says that he got 2 random messages. The first one is from someone named Christine, who claims that she is a friend of Megan's, and she's basically just trying to get him to call off the show and give Megan time to come clean, which is like, girl, we're past that point. Catfish is about to be here. They're about to clear you, honey. Come clean now. And the second message is from someone named Doris, and it's basically just saying the same thing, but she also adds that
She told me about Catfish reaching out, and she is a little freaked out.
Clap if you care.
if you weren't doing anything shady, then you wouldn't be tripping about Catfish contacting you. Like me, I'm not catfishing anybody. I know I'm not catfishing anybody. So I wouldn't be freaking out if I found out that they were contacting me, or they wanted to talk to me, or wanted to meet up with me. We could do that because I have nothing to hide, you shady bitch. But me personally, I'm just going to call it now. I think that these are just random accounts, random text plus numbers that she created trying to manipulate John into staying with her, even though she's not being honest about what's going on. Sorry, I saw a bird and I got distracted. It was a very pretty bird. So Neve and John say that they are just going to take time to think about how they should respond, and they will come up with a plan the next morning. So the next morning, they go grab John, bring him to the hotel. John talks more about the messages, and Neve just reads them out in a very dramatic way.
I think you guys have an undeniable connection.
Even though we already know what they say because John read them out last night. While they are eating their complimentary breakfast, they run the phone numbers from these random alleged friends, and the first one comes back linked with absolutely nothing, but the second one comes back with a hit for someone named Melissa. This makes it clear that this whole situation has been Melissa from Facebook the whole time, but it's like, who is Melissa? Who the fuck is Melissa? So then they call the number and it goes to voicemail, but the voicemail makes it clear that it is in fact Melissa. They decide to text Melissa and ask her to reach out. John says that he feels lost, he feels confused, and he feels used. Melissa answers and she says that she'll try and talk to Megan and convince her to meet.
Oh, Lord.
She tells them to go to DC anyways and promises that she will send them an address. And it's like, girl, at this point, give it up. Give it the fuck up, because we know it's you. You know that we know that it's you. We're fully aware that it's you. You don't need to keep horribly lying because you're really bad at it. If you were good at lying, maybe it'd be like, okay, continue it for the drama, but you've been caught. Give it up. So they pack up and head to Washington, and while they're on their way, they get a text with an address, which is actually in Arlington. As they pull up to the house, Kamie says that all of the windows are open for Neve to peek inside, and she just knows him so well. She knows he's about to go do some creepy shit, some shit that the Catfish UK host could never do. But also, we see that Neve and Kamie are wearing coordinating fits again, and I just need to know whether y'all think they planned this, or do you think it happened organically, or do you think it's like a cast thing, like they're dressing them now? So as they're pulling up, Neve then notices that there's a TV outside with a note on it. They get out the car, John grabs the note from the TV, and all it says is, "I'm sorry, don't hate me."
Lord have mercy.
I wish this Catfish would just give it up already. We're at your house. We are at your house. Just come outside. Stop with the dramatics. I feel like I'm fine with dramatics when it's entertaining and it's good. This is just annoying. So then John, Neve, and Kamie are like, what the fuck?
Is this just a random address?
It's looking like it.
And of course, Neve wants to do his police knock on the door.
Somebody lives here.
Well, we should definitely not.
But he only does this after he peeks in all of the available windows to look inside in. He wants to get a good look of this person's place before he actually wants them to come outside. So then, someone actually does come outside while Neve is peeking in the window of another door, which is also at the front. A random old lady with bright red lipstick and butterfly hair clips comes out, and she says that her name is Doris. She says that she is in fact who John has been talking to. She says that the guy they talk to is a friend, not her husband, which is like, okay, now that I see you, it makes sense that you got your friend to do this and that you're not married. She then gives the typical Catfish sob story about how her previous relationships have been so bad, and the Megan account somehow makes that all better, and it's like blah, 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 boo.
Boo. Tomato, tomato, tomato. I'm throwing tomatoes.
I don't understand how lying to people, deceiving people makes you feel better about your past relationships.
I mean, let me ask the audience.
She then has the audacity to say that
Everything that I have told him, though, has been true.
aside from the pictures, and just know that anytime someone says this, know that they have been lying about damn near everything. These Catfishes are so unoriginal. It is season 8, the never-ending season 8. You should be better at this by now. So then they start quizzing her to see if whether she's saying like, yeah, everything I told you is true, so is it really true? So they ask her about her kids. She confirms that she does in fact have 2 kids, but they're 2 boys. So it's like, so that's one thing you've already lied about. After you're like, I was honest about everything.
Why you always lying?
Then she says that she is not 27. So Neve is like, okay, so how old are you? And she then freaks out and says that she does not want to say how old she is.
But how old are you?
I really don't want to say that.
Trash.
Girl, what? I promise you, this is the least invasive question that Neve is planning on asking, so you might as well just answer it. He's not going to let it go. She then says that she is not comfortable with sharing her age.
Now, John, I will definitely tell you my age when I'm comfortable. Be fucking for real.
You've been lying about who you are this whole time, and you want him to wait to do things on your time, your terms? That doesn't make any fucking sense. But honestly, like, she looks a good 55 to me.
No.
So Neve then, just as I expected, he gets annoyed with her, like,
What's the problem? I mean,
what is the problem with us asking your age?
Yeah.
you kind of have to confess what your actual
Oh
age
my
is.
goodness.
You lied about your age, so now it only makes sense that you have to be honest after you lied. She then says that she has a lot of emotional damage from her exes, and she tries to make herself cry by sticking her dirty, crusty fingers right in her eyeballs.
You know, so,
I hate when people do that. Like, how do you not have eye infections from just randomly sticking your fingers right up in your eyeball? Isn't that uncomfortable? Anyways, besides the point. She then says that she wanted to see what the reaction would be if she were thinner and younger, and then she says that,
oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Because, like, I'm really sorry.
but this whole time, mind you, we have not seen one tear actually fall from her eye. We haven't even seen tears develop in her eye. Her eyes were just watering because she stuck her dirty fingers in them. But I just want to make it so clear, like, babes, the main problem about all of this is not the way you look. You're clearly off your fucking rocker. She then says that
Sorry, I'm breaking down here.
but still, no tears.
Everybody's so creative.
It's so annoying. John then says that he's never been lied to like this and tells her that she should have just been honest, which I agree. There was no need to keep all this up for this long. Crazy Cat Lady does not apologize. She just keeps repeating that everything she told him was true aside from what she looks like, which we've already determined is not the case because the 2 questions they asked her, she lied about. She then gets even crazier and even shadier when she says that she hopes that John isn't that shallow.
I hope that you're not that shallow.
But we know that the Megan page is fake.
Some guys can be shallow.
You need to leave.
Ma'am, old lady ma'am, what you're not gonna do is try and flip this back on him. You lied. You were not honest. You used someone else's pictures. You don't then get to be like, well, if you're not shallow, then you'll stay with me. That's so crazy manipulative, and not even like the good type of manipulation. You just look crazy. Not that there's a good type of manipulation. I just mean like when manipulation is being done well, it's usually more subtle. But I think she knows that John isn't like Einstein. He might have fallen for this if he was alone. But thank God he's not alone. So then Kamie calls her all the way out.
But you can't. That's kind of manipulative to say.
And says that she's being manipulative, which she is. She's trying to make John feel bad, so she gets away with lying and catfishing for months on end, and she ultimately still gets what she wants, which is a relationship with John. Kamie then clears that lady, and she tells her that
It's not
what he
shallow
says
for somebody to want somebody to tell the truth.
Like telling the truth.
You know,
and I know that's right. Doris then keeps attempting to manipulate by saying that,
I'm probably getting hurt more because I feel so bad, you know.
excuse me, ma'am, old lady ma'am, I need you to stop talking right now. Just your lips. Stop talking. Stop fucking talking. So John then, rightfully so, is getting heated. He says that he needs a minute, so Kamie takes him to the car. This leaves Neve with the crazy cat lady who keeps fake crying. Doris then says that she didn't want to keep continuing this, which is obviously not true because she didn't come clean. She didn't go to Catfish. She got caught and she was finally forced to tell the truth. So if it were up to her, she probably would still be doing this. She then says that
God, I'm gonna keep crying.
but her plan wasn't for the waterworks to come. Meanwhile, we haven't seen a single tear for real, and Neve calls her out for that.
Yet to see any water.
And she says that they're in there.
Yeah, but they're in there. Sure, Jan.
John is trying to justify why he should keep talking to Doris, why he should keep Doris in his life, and Kamie sets him straight. She reminds him that she is being manipulative with the purpose of them still talking. And she reminds John that he is not, in fact, being shallow. She gives him that reassurance because she doesn't want him to feel like he has to be friendly to her when he doesn't have to be. He doesn't owe her anything. Kamie then reiterates that the lady hasn't cried once.
But all those emotions didn't actually result in any tears that I saw.
And encourages John to end things after John said that that's really what he wants to do. Then we flash back to Neve and Doris says that she saw herself having a future with John because they have so much in common.
Why the fuck you lying?
I don't think y'all have anything in common, to be honest. I don't think so. I think you were just pretending to be someone that he would like, and that's why you bought him the gift also. Trying to manipulate him into wanting to be with you. She then says that she thought that John would be open to pursuing a relationship, which is crazy. You wouldn't even tell him your age, you Looney Tune. But now you want to talk about a future with him?
Fucking for real.
A future with him is out of the question. So John and Kamie go back outside, and John says that he's pissed because even after all of this, she tried to manipulate him and he almost fell for it. Doris then gets mad that John caught onto her manipulation.
I mean, if you think that I'm manipulative,
and then she starts trying to manipulate again.
that's what I'm saying. I'm feeling for you. I'm sad for you. Okay.
So Kamie then has had enough and she just shuts it down once again.
You may not even be conscious of it. The few things that you have said have been manipulative.
Like Kamie is doing all the heavy lifting this episode. Neve is just kind of a supporting character. He's just kind of there. And Kamie says that whether Doris realizes it or not, she is manipulative. Period, point blank. It's not up for discussion. You are manipulative and crazy. She didn't say the crazy part, but I'm adding that in there for a little sprinkle. So then Kamie breaks it down.
Saying, I care about you more than I care about myself.
To the point where Doris cannot deny it.
And that he needs to feel sorry for you because you don't care about yourself.
And then Doris tries to manipulate her way out of that too.
Can I say that? Or does that sound manipulative too? I'm just being open.
And I'm currently sending a prayer for Miss Doris's kids. Make sure y'all send your prayers for them too, because I can't imagine having a mother like this. She then basically tells Kamie to shut up and let John speak.
I would love for him to tell me where he's coming from though, for real.
That shit is so disrespectful.
I perceive to be Doris's attempt to trying once again to manipulate John and seeing if it'll work in her favor this time. So that doesn't work because John wants nothing to do with her. So then they make Doris delete the Megan profile in front of them.
It's not something I would normally do. I'm letting you know that, John.
She says that John should still take the TV, and as he's packing it in the car, he says that
No hard feelings, okay?
I got something out of this.
There you go.
I guess. I just feel like I wouldn't want to I feel like physical objects can hold energy. Maybe this is just me being a spiritual woo-woo girl, but I would never want to keep something from a crazy person that I talked to, or from someone who lied and manipulated me, or I would never do that. Anytime I end a fling, I end a relationship, I'm either donating this stuff, like if it's stuff that I think other people can use, or I'm burning it. Like, I'm not about to carry that energy with me. That energy is not about to be anywhere near me. I'm about to get the fuck rid of it. So John taking this TV home and giving it to his son is just weird to me. In our 2-month follow-up, John says that he's good. He says that his kids love the TV from Doris, but he says that he and Doris have not spoken, which is honestly for the best. Then we go to Crazy Cat Lady. She says that she's good. She says that she doesn't miss John, which I don't believe for 1 second. And she says that...
But that was the first time I had ever met John. It just wasn't the same as, through the computer.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Yeah, girl. Because you lied about everything. And you tried to manipulate him into being in a relationship with you. Of course it's not going to be the same. Like, this lady's crazy. Then Doris says with her whole chest, which she should have been embarrassed to say, that she doesn't think that things were different because she lied to him, because if the roles had been reversed, she would have been open-minded and accepting. I don't believe that for 1 second, and I feel like this is her again trying to manipulate the situation and spin the narrative to make John look like he's the bad guy, meanwhile she's been the villain all along. This was an episode that I don't think anybody requested I cover. I just had to cover it because Megan, Doris, whatever, Crazy Cat Lady was off her fucking rocker, and I needed to talk about this episode because, oh my gosh. Also, I love the way that Kamie was able to call her out. It was in a way that wasn't aggressive or confrontational, so then it made Doris's reaction look even more crazy than it was, which I really appreciated. I think that Neve should listen to Kamie more during investigations, and if she says we shouldn't do something, you probably shouldn't do it, but that's just my opinion. Thank you so very much for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell notification so you're aware of every single time that I upload. Make sure to let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions down in the comments below because this episode was crazy and I need to know what your thoughts are. I really, really need to know what you're thinking. As always, if there are other episodes, if there are other TV shows that you would like me to cover, you can drop it down in the comments, or you can leave me a DM here on Instagram. A lot of people have been requesting that I cover Unfaithful, Caught in the Act, and I definitely am interested in it. I just need, give me an episode recommendation, and I'll get into it. So once again, thank you so very much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.